Your Money or Your Life by Vicki and Joe Dominguez, a WealthWorks summary. Introduction: the book that redefines wealth. Your Money or Your Life was first published in 1992 and updated in 2008. It is one of the founding texts of the financial independence movement. The idea that the goal of financial life is not to accumulate as much money as possible, but to reach the point where your investments generate enough passive income to cover your living expenses, making paid work optional. Vicki and Joe Dominguez introduce a concept that changes how most people think about money. Money is not currency. Money is life energy. Every dollar you spend represents a portion of your finite time on earth exchanged for that item or experience. When you see money as life energy rather than as currency, every financial decision becomes a different question. Is this thing worth the hours of my life I traded for it? Chapter 1. Money is Life Energy. The book opens with one of the most powerful reframes in personal finance. Calculate your real hourly wage, not your salary divided by your hours. Your real hourly wage, accounting for commuting time, preparation time, decompression time, work clothes, lunches, convenience spending triggered by work stress, and any other expenses that exist solely because of your job. For most people, this number is startlingly low. The person earning a $30 hourly wage may actually be earning $15 per hour of real life given to work. Then look at a purchase, say a $200 pair of shoes. At a real hourly wage of $15, those shoes cost 13 hours of your life. Is the item worth 13 hours? This reframe does not tell you not to spend. It tells you to spend with full awareness of the true cost. The action: calculate your real hourly wage. For the next week, convert every significant purchase from dollars to hours of life. Notice what changes. Chapter 2. The Fulfillment Curve. And Dominguez introduce a concept called the Fulfillment Curve, a chart that maps spending against fulfillment. At very low levels of spending, survival fulfillment rises rapidly with each dollar. Food, shelter, warmth. These provide enormous fulfillment per dollar. As spending increases into comfort, reliable housing, decent food, basic pleasures, fulfillment continues to rise but more slowly. Then comes what they call the peak, enough. At this point, spending and fulfillment are in balance. Every dollar spent brings genuine satisfaction. Beyond enough, the curve bends downward. Luxury spending brings diminishing returns. Clutter brings stress. Status seeking brings anxiety. The pursuit of more beyond enough actively reduces fulfillment. The most important financial question is not, how do I earn more? It is, where is my enough? Because spending beyond enough wastes both money and well-being. The action: draw your own version of the fulfillment curve. Where does your spending currently fall? Are you in the survival zone, the comfort zone, the enough zone, or past it? Chapter 3. Where is your money going? This chapter introduces the practice that and Dominguez recommend as the single most transformative financial habit: tracking every cent you spend every month for life. Not budgeting, tracking. After the fact, not before. The purpose is awareness, not restriction. Every month, create a wall chart of income versus expenses. Categorize every expenditure. See exactly where your life energy is going. Over time, the categories where you are overspending become obvious. Not because someone told you, but because you can see it. They find that this practice alone, without any rules or restrictions, causes most people to reduce their spending significantly. When you see the full picture, you naturally align your spending with your values. The action: for 1 month, track every single expenditure. Every coffee, every subscription, every impulse buy. Categorize them. At the end of the month, look at the full picture. What surprises you? Chapter 4. Financial Independence. The book's ultimate destination is financial independence. The point at which your investment income covers your living expenses and paid work becomes optional. Robin and Dominguez call this the crossover point, the moment on your wall chart where monthly investment income crosses above monthly expenses. At that point, you are free. The path to the crossover point is straightforward, if not easy. Reduce expenses, increase income, invest the difference. Each reduction in monthly expenses does two things. It reduces the amount you need to have invested, and it increases the amount you can invest each month. The most important insight? Financial independence is not a fixed destination defined by a number. It is defined by the gap between your income and your expenses. The smaller your expenses, the sooner you reach the crossover point. The action: calculate your crossover point. At your current spending level, how much invested capital, generating a conservative 4% annually, would cover your expenses? That is your number. Now ask, what can you do this year to close the gap faster? Chapter 5. Making Life Energy Count. The final principle in the book is about what you do once you have achieved financial independence, or are on the path to it. Robin and Dominguez argue that the point of financial independence is not to stop working. It is to do work you choose, work that aligns with your values, creates real impact, and would be worth doing even without a paycheck. Most people discover, when they reach financial independence, that they keep working. But the nature of the work changes entirely. Work chosen freely is not the same thing as work done out of necessity, even when the tasks are identical. The book closes with a question that reframes the entire project of financial life. If money were no object, what would you spend your days doing? If the answer is different from what you're doing now, that gap is the most important financial problem you have to solve. The action. Write the answer to that question. What would you spend your days doing if money were no object? How far are you from that life? What is the financial gap between here and there? A note at the end. Your Money or Your Life is not ultimately a book about money. It is a book about time, choice, and what a human life is worth. Vicki, Robin, and Joe Dominguez's deepest insight is this: the goal of financial life is freedom. Not the freedom to buy more things, but the freedom to spend your finite time on this earth doing what matters most to you. Every good financial decision is a step toward that freedom. Start now. This has been WealthWorks. If this was useful, subscribe. There is more where this came from.